Hey everybody, today we're going to do coasters. These molds are number 84 from Silicon Forms, which is an Etsy shop, and I have the link below the video. They hold 3 ounces each at least of resin, and I've only mixed half of that. So that would be 12 to fill them. I'm only mixed 6 ounces already. You can refer to video 1058 for how I mix resin. Doesn't matter if it's fast or medium or whatever kind of resin, pretty much the same mixing instructions. So we're skipping past that. Today I'm using Lett's Resin Fast Cure. It has a very long working time, like medium viscosity, which is I'm still not used to, and I'm still getting used to it. I'm going to put this aside for a moment, and because it's thicker, it definitely has more bubbles too. I'm going to hit the timer with start, and I'm going to time it. This is after mixing my resin. Then you clear it after you've mixed your resin, and you start over from 0. And we're going to count the timing from the minute that you've finished mixing your resin. We're also going to pay attention to the temperature. We're going to probably wait till it's at least 90 degrees Fahrenheit before we do anything, but we're going to try to do, a 3D effect. So I am going to mix the white, and I've got a piping bag ready for when that happens, but when I mix it, it'll be in a little 3-ounce cup, and I'm going to do probably about 1 ounce or so, and I'm going to probably do about 10 drops of Cast and Craft white pigment paste from Amazon. I have a set of 24 alcohol inks Decor Rom made for resin. Today I want to try using lemon and cherry and maybe mango. So I want kind of a gradation of yellow to red. And I'm using those instead of Pinata, which I typically love to use, but Pinata is super pigmented, and I don't want it to be so strong that you can't see the white through it or whatever. So we're just going with a little milder alcohol ink today. And the white also, I'm going to use Sparkle White by Etsy Funshine Color Shop. And that is going to be below, all items will be below the video. I also have these little check seed beads. So they're black shot glass here, and I'm just going to put a little in the middle of each one. But I'm going to wait on that until, the resin has been in the mold and it's really getting a lot thicker. So when you mix Fast Cure resin, it's a thicker viscosity than medium viscosity, which is what I'm used to using, which mixes well, has little bubbles, and it has about a 45-minute working time. The Fast Cure has at least a 35 to 40-minute working time, and it's kind of thick when you're mixing it to begin with. So you're going to have more bubbles. So just be aware of that. Again, we'll pay attention to the time and temperature. I'll keep you posted on that. Right now, if I take my digital thermometer and shoot it, it's at 78 degrees. And we want to wait till it's probably about 90. So we'll check it later. I'll check it later. I'll stop my video and come back. Again, as far as safety goes, always wear gloves. Try to have some kind of ventilation in your room, an open window. I use my ceiling fan on low. I have a half face mask, which has the P100 filters, which are for gases and odors. Also wear glasses or safety goggles on your eyes. You want to keep anything from floating up into your eyes or nose. And even though most of the resins that are out there that are good quality all say no VOCs, it's still a chemical reaction, and there are fumes and things that can float up that you can't even see. So just be super careful with that. For cleanup, I always use baby wipes, and I keep a bottle of 91% alcohol. Use 91 or 99% alcohol for resin. Don't use rubbing alcohol. And you can get that on Amazon. You can get it at Sam's club and places like that. It's great for cleaning up with the combination of a baby wipe. It's just super easy to use. For some reason, baby wipes work better than paper towels and alcohol together, so I use baby wipes. And I've got a heat gun, which I probably won't use because of the high heat. I have a low temp heat gun or a heat tool that's only about 300 degrees. You may see me use that for some bubbles. The torch for bubbles, one note is when you're using alcohol inks or when you're spraying your alcohol, you can spray your alcohol into empty silicone molds. You can spray it into your resin while you're working with it, and then at the end you can spray it. You can use this at any point in time during your process. But alcohol and alcohol inks are flammable. If your fire touches them, it will sometimes flame up. So if you're torching the surface of your resin that you just put alcohol inks on or just spritzed it with alcohol, don't get that flame near the surface. The best thing is just to let it kind of dissipate. The alcohol, just let it dissipate for a little while on the surface and kind of sink in just a bit. And then you can torch it, but just don't touch your flame to your resin anyway. And you want to always keep hot things away from the edges of your molds, like really hot heat gun or your flame. Don't stay in one spot for too long because you can ruin your molds. It'll stick to your resin and you'll have to cut them apart basically. I've learned from lessons. So I'll be back. Okay, before I put my mask on, we're at about 23 minutes. And we're right around that 90-degree mark and the cup is feeling warm, so we're ready to go. I'm gonna just put my mask on and show you the rest. Okay, it's been about 45 to 50 minutes, and it's a little powerful in the middle with the color. So I don't know if I overdid it with it, you know, because in a coaster it always becomes concentrated towards the center. Like if this were a bigger piece, it might not be this vivid and powerful. Hopefully it'll still turn out pretty when it's all said and done and I unmold it. I am planning on putting a background layer on top of this in about 6 hours. And you know, right now the coasters are less than halfway filled up, so they must hold 4 instead of 3 ounces. So I'll plan on putting at least 2 ounces more in each of these, and that'll be, you know, at least 8 ounces that I'll mix up. We'll wait for about 6 hours and then we'll come back, but they seem to be moving and blooming. Sometimes the only problem that I'm having with the fast cure is that it almost they almost become so transparent, the white petals, and I really kind of want them to show up. So I'm hoping I've put enough pigment in it that I don't feel like it's going to drop, except for maybe a little bit in the middle, but I do feel like the petals may be a little transparent feeling. It's a very thin layer of resin in there. Like I said, 1.5 ounces in each coaster, and so that means it's, you know, less than half filled up. So I'll be back in about 6 hours. Okay, we're back the next day, and I'm loving the way they look from behind, and I would love to go ahead and unmold them, but they're kind of thin right now and I need that extra layer. So I'm going to go ahead and do a background layer and just pray that the other side looks really pretty. I've mixed up 10 ounces. I was thinking I'll need 2 more of each, so that's 8 ounces, but I did 10 just to make sure, because sometimes I run short. And I've got about 2 ounces in the cup and about 8 ounces here. I used Counterculture Fast Set because it sets up in an hour or 2, and I really like that super fast cure. And it only has a 10 to 15 minute working time. I am going to just do kind of clear in the middle. I could do another petal pattern, but I'm not going to. And I'm going to do mostly clear, but I want to do, I think I'm going to add a little bit more here. So about 2.5 ounces. And I'm going to use, this little piggy, which is what their label looks like, and this is one of their little sample packets. It's Vinyasa, I think is the way you say it. It's like a blackish looking mica. I'm going to see if I can get some kind of a unique effect in the background. So I'm going to take a spoonful of that. Okay, so it's kind of a bluish black. I say it's black, but I can definitely see a color shift in it that has a bluish feel to it. Whoops, whoops. See, this is why you don't mix over your existing projects. Fortunately, it's not wet resin, it's cured resin. The powder kind of flew out of the cup. So I don't have a lot of time to play around. So it's kind of like a midnight black. It has a little bluish purple cast to it. I don't know if you can see that in the lighting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go around the edges. And with it being points, that's going to be a little bit difficult, but we're going to give it a go. Again, this is going to be an experimental background, because this is the super fast, it's not the turbo fast that counterculture makes, but like I said, it sets up pretty quickly. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the clear, pour right into the middle, and with fast curing resin, because it is super thick, it has a lot of bubbles. And I can tell you right now, I've got more resin than I'm going to need. So I'm going to let it kind of float out to the different petals, and then we'll see how much I have left. This is one of those flexible silicone cups, and to be honest, I really do not care for them, because they give you the opportunity to really make a mess and spill your resin out of these, because they're so flexible. I prefer a harder plastic cup. 16. These hold 4 ounces of resin, each one. That's what we've got total in each one now that we've done this. And for the heck of it, I have ruby and I have cherry. Cherry is not as saturated. I'm going to go ahead and put cherry. I meant to pop my bubbles and I forgot. And you can't really do that when you just put alcohol ink down. So I'm going to have to wait on that. And I'm going to do the mango in the middle. Doing 4 drops. And hopefully that pushes that red out a little bit. So with regular resin or a fast cure that has longer working time, what happens is that the outer color will move in. But with this being a really fast cure resin, it may not do that. I don't really know what to expect. Trying to just move it out a little bit. It's all going to still move to the middle, but with this being a really kind of fast, it's been 10 minutes and at 15 it starts getting really tacky. So I'm going to turn off my timer, and I'm going to do a little torching, but I'm not going to let that flame get near the inks. The vinyasa is moving inwards, which is a good thing. I just don't know what's going to happen with the ink, if it's going to stay on the top surface and not float in. I'm not sure. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull some color out just in case it decides not to move too much. I want some of that color to go outwards just for a pretty background effect in case the ink kind of stays where it is. Okay. Now I'm going to spritz with alcohol. That's my final thing to do before, just to get the bubbles popped on the surface. And when you do alcohol, it will kind of separate the ink out a little bit, but don't worry about that, because the ink will go back to doing what it's supposed to do, and it'll still be pretty. We'll see if the inks move in or if they just kind of stay the way they are on the back surface layer. Hey, it's been a few hours. Things moved a little bit, but not a lot. So we'll just see what they look like when we take them out. I wanted to show you this silicone cup. I think always one of the fun parts is just taking the resin, out of containers once it's cured. And because this was fast cure, this was from several hours ago. You can't do this with regular resin. It's only with the fast curing kind. But anyway, it's just fun, the shapes it makes and that kind of stuff. So we're going to go ahead and demold these. Anticipation is making me wait. It's keeping me waiting. I can't get that deep. Okay, let's see what these look like. Are you ready? I'm ready. Oh, how pretty. I love. These are what's surprising. The white, it almost looks feathery. I really, really love these. I kind of thought the middle was going to be a bust with the way the inks did, but I like it. It kind of stayed put because it was fast cured. The vinyasa, which, like I said, looks black, but if you can see it in the light shimmering, it's kind of got that almost a midnight blue. It's like a black with a bluish shimmer to it. And these, I think these are gorgeous. Gorgeous. Super pretty. Okay. This gives me ideas for like firework kind of looking, like red, white, and blue. I hope you learned something in this video that will help you create beautiful resin art. Generally, if you just follow the steps, if you're using the same resin brand, if you pay attention to the timing or the temperature, you're going to get pretty close to the same results for the most part. I'm super pleased. Again, I hope you loved it and enjoyed it. And just look at those pretty little feathered-like petals. Just love it. So anyway, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and stay tuned for the next videos that I put out. I've got some I've got some new coasters molds that are the Oriental shape. Let me find them and show you. These are from Molds and Shapes. Look at the really pretty design. And they each hold 3 ounces of resin. So I'm looking forward to making some pretty coasters with these. So maybe when I do this the next time, I won't use counterculture fast set, which really cures fast. I might use the slower curing resin like Lett's resin, the fast cure. And you've got 30-40 minutes working time, and it might give a little bit different effect in the background. I don't know, but I think this is lovely, lovely. So thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. Love you all.